that kind of segues into one of the questions that we got
Let's
going
hear it.
into that. It's balanced. Where'd it go? All right. So yeah, doing so there the taking into like the perseverance and like mental strength. Um, what would you recommend people to do for like mental health care during and after prep? Like, because bodybuilding requires a lot of mental strength, and I've known quite a few people to like try bodybuilding and get a month into it, maybe 6 weeks into whatever, and just like they're just it's just not for them. They can't handle it. The mental toughness that it kind of puts you through kind of almost kicks your ass a little bit if you're not prepared. So how would
Definitely.
you how what do you recommend for people to kind of figure out if it's for them, and like what mental health struggles and successes did you have going through this?
Um, it's kind of a big question there.
Yeah.
It's a loaded
Uh,
one.
Definitely you need to be very clear with what you want and what your goals are and what you want your outcome to be while like what you're when you're doing this. So if your goal is just to kind of, do it just for the social media aspect or just to be like, oh, my friends are doing it, so I want to jump on, chances are you're probably not gonna last. I hate to say it, but
Nope. Yeah.
um, your goals have to be bigger than what you're doing, in my opinion. Um,
Yeah, it needs to be the
the,
big
the
goal for
purpose
sure.
needs to be bigger.
Yeah,
And
agreed.
yeah, I feel like that's kind of a hard one for me to answer because I know why I'm doing it, but I can't really tell you why other people want to do it.
Right. Nope.
When you
So
know, you know.
right.
Exactly, yeah.
So keeping within that line, what was one of the big takeaways that you've learned from going through like your last prep and competition? Like, was there
Um,
anything that you really like learned about yourself that you didn't think that you might have like pulled out? Sometimes when we've mentioned this, Caroline's mentioned this in the past, where prep brings out demons. It could bring out some nasty things in you, right? And you
yeah,
can
for
really
sure.
discover some things, some powerful things, good and bad, that that you may have to face later on, or even in the moment to kind of get past it and get to the next step. Is there something like a self
Well, I
discovery?
noticed that I definitely had very high standards for what I wanted my physique to be. And when it came show day, like my last show and I did in Newfoundland, even the day of the show, like my coach was super proud of me. He was super happy with my physique. I took home 3 medals, but I was not happy with my physique. I was not. I did not, it wasn't what I visualized and it wasn't my expectations. And I feel like I might have set the bar too high for myself. But even right now, my physique's not where I want it to be. And I'm pushing
Do you
myself.
think it ever will be? That is,
Yes.
yeah.
Um,
I think that's a
but
really big problem
yeah,
within bodybuilding. Is like we'll never really be completely happy.
that's true. That definitely is part of the sport. But that's also what motivates you, what's driving
Yeah.
you to become better. And you look at all the people that are on the Olympia stage, you think that they didn't have that mentality the whole time? Like they
Oh,
got that physique because the entire time they were working towards what they envisioned themselves. So,
As long as you don't beat yourself up too much with where you're at. I know probably at the
yeah.
time everyone else was happy, but no one like, you're just like, I'm disappointed. As long as you're just like, I still look good and I know I can look better. It's like still having a negative, but looking at it in a more positive way. It's like you might not always look the way you want to look, but you can't deny that you look fabulous now anyway.
Yeah, no, I was
that's
I was
awesome. Good
very
way to put it.
happy with with how I presented myself and getting back on stage, and I definitely made the redemption that I wanted coming
Yeah.
back to the stage, which was my goal. And the main goal was I wanted to qualify, and I did that 3 times. So definitely, went above expectation. But when I got home and I seen like the stage pictures and stuff, I said, I got a shit ton of work I need to do. And if anything, it stopped me from having post blues because when I got my feedback and I said, okay, this is how I looked, but this is not where I'm at, where I want to be at. So this off season, I know exactly what I need to do. And it was my motivation for my bulk to push me and drive me to grow and look forward to the next show, because a lot of people, they lose that motivation and that dedication after a show, or if they don't
Right.
place how they want, then they kind of lose that dedication for the sport, I
Your
guess, in a
post show
sense.
Your post-show blues, like how long do you feel like every time you've competed in a show, do you feel like the post-show blues is like a shorter period of time, or has it varied depending on how well you've done in a show? I also feel like when you do get them, what have you struggled with the most in all of them, if it seems to be the same issue? For me, it was how I looked. My body changed visually because I guarantee you, I don't eat as clean as you. I literally ate pizza tonight, fast food. Yum. But like, yeah, I want to know about your post-show blues, how long, if they were
So
different, or
I know that that would be an easy question for people to answer, but my answer isn't very typical because my post like blue sure my post blues from the show wasn't really post blues. Like my very first show, I definitely had it, but looking back, I feel like I was obviously weak mentally, and my focus after the show was, okay, like these are all the treats and stuff that I can have, and I'm gonna, shove my face at all this junk food,
Yep.
not realizing my gut health and how much that's gonna affect my emotions, my hormones, your body, everything. So the first time after a show, yeah, I definitely I binged.
Oh, that would probably
It
would have been
wasn't good.
horrible.
I got a little
but
depressed. I stayed away from the gym because I didn't look how I did on, like, during the show. So that was probably my worst ever post blue, like blues or whatever from the show. But I also told myself I was never going to do that again because my arthritis did get significantly worse after that. When I did fill my face with a bunch of junk food.
As soon as the sugar hit your system, yeah.
Yeah, but that was also
I
the wake
feel
up
like your
call for
post-show
me.
blues would be different. I feel like, yeah,
Exactly.
I feel like just knowing your story and listening to you, I was interested in what your post-show blues would be like, because I feel like they would be different for you than most, and I'm just super curious about how you feel after a show.
Um, well, that's what I mean. So, my when I come down from a show and I'm doing my reverse diet, all my diet really is I'm just adding more of what I already have. Uh, People consider me very plain with what I eat because I eat a lot of the same stuff, but it's what I'm used to. It's what I like. It's what I know my body can digest, and it's what I know isn't going to give me flare ups. So I'm going to continue with that. And if it's
Yeah.
boring, whatever.
Hey, but it
It's
works, right?
just got so much easier because I'm already used to it.
Yeah, the arthritis I feel would be a huge contributor for like just supporting like staying consistent.
It is.
Um, yeah, I feel
I
like
always
that'd be
tell
the big
people like
one.
my why is significantly different because I even now, like when people look at me, like I have people that are jealous or insecure of me or threatened by me when they see me. But I look at them and I'm like, you don't realize that I'm coming to the gym so I can feel like you and you're trying to look like me. It's two totally different
Whoa, I
mentalities.
like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like
it
I
is.
Wow.
I'm
It's
here because
humbling.
I just want to feel
Yeah.
normal, not
Right.
because I'm here to be the hottest girl in town. Like it's the mentality is totally different, but you know what? It also my work ethic is completely different than everyone else because of my mentality. So when I'm in the gym, it does come off a little threatening to some other girls because I don't care that I'm sweating. There's sweat coming out of every crease in my body because I'm in there to make sure that I'm getting a full workout in the short period of time that I'm in there so that when I leave, I'm a better mother, I'm a better, worker, everything.
Yeah.
I'm not in there to take pictures. Well, sometimes,
Oh,
obviously,
sometimes.
afterwards,
Oh yeah,
but
Are
you
you
got
sure? Let me
it.
go through your Instagram. I could pull that up. Let's see.
listen, post pump, obviously, you got to get a picture.
Okay.
You have to. I'll defend you on that one, girl. I
Oh,
got you.
oh, for sure.
We're coming to you, bud.
So,
But you get my gist. Like it's
oh
it's
yeah,
it's not
definitely.
the real reason why I'm going.
Right. Yeah, definitely. So you touched on like three different questions we've had from people. So we're gonna get into those. So Jill asks, "Do you always stay lean year round? And if so, do you think that is affecting your improvements and your muscle gain?" Like,
Um, Absolutely. So I know I had a lot of people question my off season that just passed. Like I'm just entering prep now, but I had a lot of health issues. I started to develop issues with my esophagus, and I wasn't able to swallow solids for several weeks. And I tried going to the hospital here. No offense, healthcare in Cape Breton's horrible.
I just
I
think
had
Nova
No,
to
it's
Scotia
so
in
sad.
general.
drive to
Sorry. You
Halifax.
suck. We
Yep.
love
Yeah,
you,
I
but you
had to
suck,
drive
Nova
to
Scotia leadership.
Halifax
Miracles you
to
together.
go to the ER in Halifax to have them actually take me seriously and tell them I was like, listen, like I'm gonna choke in front of my kids. Like I can't gain weight right now. I can't eat. I'm living off of like 5 protein shakes a day. Like you
Ugh.
need to do
Yep.
something here. And when I went to Halifax, they were like, no, like we're gonna make sure that you're checked, and they sent me for a scope, and I had found out it was my arthritis starting to come back, and they basically told me that I needed to evaluate my life and find out where the stress was coming from because it wasn't my diet and it wasn't my training because they were consistent. So I had made a career change and I went and decided to do personal training and be a fitness instructor full time and backed away from social work because that was very, very hard on my health. And
Oh,
just given my past, um, it was, I think, triggering more of my trauma than what my initial goal was. I told myself I wanted to go into social work so I could give back to foster
right.
kids and kind of bring awareness to some of the gaps in the system. And
Hmm.
when I
Well, you
realized
did
that,
your part, and it's good that you
not
looked
yet,
out
I'm
for your
not
own
done.
mental health. You did what
No.
you needed to
That's,
do, and now you're out.
Yes, but I will give back. I'm not done there. That will
that's
come
good.
with time.
You're
But
bettering yourself. You're bettering yourself so you can help them.
yeah, and I told myself like since I was a kid, I always said I was going to make sure that I gave back to foster care and that I tried to make a difference and be a voice for them. But when I made the decision to switch careers for my health, I made a promise to myself that if I can contribute to social work, then I will contribute to foster care in another way. Whether it's donations, whether it's bringing awareness to a certain situation, or helping foster kids get into fitness. I don't know, but I will give back in another way, and that's something that I'm going to stay true to my word with. But yeah, when I made the decision to switch careers, my health improved significantly, and I was able to kind of eliminate that process or that problem. But it did happen during my bulk, so everyone was like, "Why are you so lean? Like, why
Right.
are you gaining weight?" And I
I have a
wasn't.
question about I have a question about that one. It's kind of like a side one. When you were talking about your arthritis and staying lean and gaining muscle. Do you have like go-to foods that you like to eat when you're having flare-ups or things that you cut out of your diet?
Um,
Like,
so I eat a lot
because you
of
said you cut out red meat,
anti-inflammatories.
you've cut out red meat.
Yeah, red meat. I noticed, or I found out that that was a trigger for me. But fish is huge. Fish definitely helps significantly. I eat tuna every freaking day. Chicken, rice, salmon, shrimp. I just stick to, the foods that I know are good for us and that aren't full of crap.
Do you eat a lot of
Um,
pork?
no, I don't eat any pork really.
Or does pork bother you, or do you just not like it?
Uh, I don't mind it. To be honest, it wasn't really anything that I kind of explored. It's not something my coach put on my diet, so
You'll have to
Yeah.
it
try
wasn't.
it on your off season. Give pork
Yeah,
a shot.
pork's not bad in the
Pork's
off season.
I've had
underrated.
pork before, but yeah, it's just not something that I would gravitate towards.
It's not really my favorite either. I'd rather go for turkey or maybe just
Yeah.
Something
game bother
leaner.
you, like wild game, deer and
Mhm.
moose and stuff bother you as well.
Um, I used to eat most when I was younger, but like I don't want to say like I'm a meat and potatoes kind of girl, but like that's what I am with my prep food. Like I
Right?
don't
It's
really
just
mix it up. I stick to what I know and what my body knows and will digest properly. So I don't need to mess with that if that's working.
Right,
We just add
right.
more
A little
or
bit of
less.
a little bit of discomfort there. It's just like I don't want to mess with a good thing. Thanks.
Exactly. Um, but I mean, I still have my cheat meals and my refeed meals and stuff like that. There's things that we all
yeah,
What's a
nice.
go-to cheat meal? I want to know what a go-to cheat meal would be for
Yeah,
someone.
like
Yeah, I want
that's a really
to
good question. Yeah.
Uh, if I'm in Halifax, Five Guys, 100%. Little
Oh,
burgers,
nice.
small
know. I've
fry.
never
Yeah,
been
that's my
there. I
go-to.
gotta try it.
It's so
Oh,
good.
do you
The
ever?
fries are incredible.
They
Gotta
are.
try
You
it.
won't
I
beat those
feel
fries.
like the audacity of me not knowing Five Guys. Tomorrow, pizza
Tomorrow.
today,
Five
burgers
Guys
tomorrow.
tomorrow. Oh goodness.
Yeah, have one
Equals
for
it
me.
equals gains. That's what I'll keep telling myself.
Hmm.
Gains here.
Um,
All right, I get another question from Courtney. She's looking to. She wants to know how do you balance your rigorous training schedule as a bodybuilder with your responsibilities as a mother.
um, Time management is something that I had to discipline myself with because especially with an autoimmune disease, like depression is something that kind of comes hand in hand with it. And just chronic pain can slow down your day like
Mm-hmm.
so much. You have no idea how hard it can be just to do a basic task. So when I got into bodybuilding and I told myself, I made the decision that if I'm going to go for my pro card, I need to take this seriously and I need to manage my time because my time is very valuable. And not only that, but I only have a short period of my age, the window that I can go for my pro card. So I need to take this seriously, and I only got one shot at this. Um, so time management is 100% the biggest thing when it comes to juggling everything. I have a schedule, I stick to my schedule, and I make sure that anything that needs to get done, I will do that when my kids are gone. So they go with their dad on the weekend. So my weekend is when I do my prep, when I do my laundry, my cleaning, any traveling, grocery runs, all of
Right.
that.
Awesome.
So
Okay.
time management,
There's a
sure.
there's a question about your support network, Josh. I can't
Yep.
remember who asked that one.
No, that
I
was
wanna
yeah.
give that one a go.
Oh, it's like yeah. Matt. He said, "Can you describe your support system you have in place that helped you succeed?"
Uh, I kind of was my own support system. Um, I grew up, well, not that I grew up, but when I moved out on my own and stuff, it was really hard. I was surrounded by a lot of people that didn't really believe in me or necessarily were good people in my life. And they caused more bad than good. And
Right.
I had a lot of people take advantage of me because when you grow up in foster care, you don't really have people. Like the people that I grew up in the group home with, like half of them are no longer with us.
Yeah.
And
I worked in group homes for 13 years.
so it's not easy.
I
Uh,
that's that I'm an ex counselor that used to work. I worked across Canada in in Nova Scotia, New Brunswick, and BC in group homes.
Wow.
So
Well,
I
I've lived in Cosset Heights, and I've lived in the Ray Allen Center in Halifax.
yeah, I know
And
that place.
kids shouldn't have to live with bars on their doors and on their windows and be told when they're allowed to use the bathroom and be let into the room to use the bathroom. I don't agree with the system there. But as for support, we kind of just had each other. And when I got put in independent living, I didn't really have anyone. Um, I turned, you're gonna laugh at me, but I turned to YouTube a lot. I watched like self-motivational videos, and like I would watch videos on like law of attraction, and like I told myself, you know what, if I don't have a support system, I'm gonna be my own support system, and I'm gonna do whatever I have to do during this lonely ass time to get myself through it. And if that means watching 5, 6
So
podcasts while I'm cleaning and doing this and that to,
All the people out there on
change my
YouTube are
mindset, I'm
probably,
gonna.
yeah,
So
yeah,
so
all the
this
people
is
on YouTube are glad.
yeah,
Okay, help somebody. That's what we're doing.
that's what we're trying.
We're
So
trying. Yes,
I have a,
contribute.
yeah, there we go. So I have a question. Like, in my past experiences working, someone like you that's looking for self betterment and self empowerment, and that you're trying to find your own way, is very rare from what I've come across.
You're
Um,
different.
yeah, how where do you think that comes from? Like the drive to get better, not just float along. Where I found
uh,
most of the residents of group homes are just, they're just along for the ride, or they can't see past today. And
I feel
because
like
usually
it's
it's very unknown, but
yeah. Um, I feel like my health was probably what made me have a different mindset because growing up, I was told I was going to be in a wheelchair. I was told I wasn't going
yeah.
to have an adulthood. So every day I'm like, I'm lucky to be alive. Like, why are you guys fighting over, what's going on the weekend when you should just be happy that you're here? Like, there's people that would love to just be able to walk around and do regular things. And, so my mindset was different because I was just trying to be normal. I was just trying to be average. Like, and I wasn't. Um,
I almost
but
disagree.
now I realize that
Yeah.
my entire life I was trying to be normal actually made me unique and stand out. And now I'm just kind of accepting that and seeing it in myself and realizing, okay, me standing out isn't a bad thing. It's actually a good thing. Um, like I have like people at the gym that call me a unicorn, and I laugh now when I hear
You're,
that. 'Cause back then,
and
I would
that
have
goes
thought that
into
was an
my
insult.
disagreement. It's not even like I can't even technically disagree with how you feel. And the only reason why I'm disagreeing in a sense is when I listen to what you're saying, I feel like I know people that sound like you, but they aren't you. So I feel like you say it's your illness. I just say you were born that way. You were just given something more special that maybe some other people just will never grasp. I just think
Oh,
I genuinely think that there are people out there that are
Hmm.
just more, and they're willing to give more and not ever settle for less. And I feel like you're just born that way. And you guys I feel like they come up with reasons why they do things, but it's the same reason I hear it from so many other people, but they don't do what they say.
Oh, like 99% of
well,
the time.
That's the
I
only reason why I
appreciate that.
disagree. And it's yeah, and it's not even
It's not
yeah,
a
it's more
bad
like a
disagreement. Yeah, for
disagreement. Yeah.
sure.
Yeah, that's what I
Thank you
think.
for that. That's really sweet. That makes me happy to hear. Because
I
I
feel
used to
like
say,
anyone else out
it's just
there
my
would. I feel
arthritis.
like
And
people are
it's
going to
just
agree.
like,
Yeah, because you're 100% more than that, right? So that's just a part of the story. You're yeah.
Everybody is. Treat yourself like you're more, and just do it. Fake it till you make it if you don't believe it, and then you'll believe, and then at the end you'll just be like, oh wow, like the underdog story.
no,
Who doesn't
that's
love one?
true. Yep.
Yeah, let's question from
And a
Ashley B.
question.
From Ashley B. She just wants to know. She's like, she's a first-time competitor. She's competing soon. Um, do you have any tips that you could give her? She doesn't say when she's competing, but she's going to be a first-time competitor. Any like, I would say like a lot of first-time competitors are nervous. They're getting anxious. I don't know. I'm just thinking back for when I was doing
Um,
it. Like,
One thing I tell, uh, well, that I'm going to be telling, I only have one as of right now, but my posing clients is that I had the talk with her today is that even before you get on stage, you need to mentally tell yourself, oh my God, like, don't get on there and be like, oh, they're critiquing me, like, everyone's staring at me. You need to get on there and be like, I just worked my ass off for X amount of weeks, and I'm so proud to show this body off. It
yeah.
doesn't matter what they give back because the judges can see your confidence or they whether you have it or you don't. And if you're
I
up
Oh
agree
there
with
yeah,
being
that.
like,
they will pick that up.
oh my God,
I
like
wish
they're
Yeah.
gonna be able to sense that.
I feel like I
So
said something with that question. I feel like I wish we had a little clip with what I said when you were interviewing me. When
Oh
I
yeah.
was like, I was just there to show off what I got because I knew I had it, baby. I was like, here you go,
That's
you
and
got
exactly
that's
it.
it.
and honestly, like and that speaks volumes. And that aurora, that type of energy shows significantly on stage when you're like, you know what? I don't even care like what happens. I'm here to show off the hard work I put in
Yep.
and the journey that I've come from. Um, and that can make all of the difference in how you place, how your post blues are, like
Oh,
everything.
good point.
Um,
100%.
and it might make or break whether you continue as a bodybuilder or not, or if you continue to do more shows. So that's the biggest thing is just your mentality and your mindset going into it. Just be proud of what you're bringing to the stage
Yeah.
and show it off when you're up there.
100. Yeah.
Work
Love
so
it.
hard for it. I definitely agree with that. Definitely show it off.
Yeah. It's like, yeah. I don't even when I'm going up there. I try not to even think about it as being like a competition. You're just a piece of artwork. You're going off. You're showing your design. You're showing what you did. You're the sculpture that hopefully that you've worked many months or years on, and you're just like, here it is.
Years, probably years. Yeah.
My
Yeah.
my coach Joe Pulsifer, I have him on again. He said to me when I was competing and I was like, I don't know if I look good enough. I don't know if I'm going to be what the judges want me to be. He said, you stick to your diet. Every single day is a win. You walk up on stage, you're a winner. You're number one no matter what. And you're like, it's so simple, but so true. And he
It
always
is.
reminds me about that. He's great for that. So, yeah.
Uh, Before I got a couple more questions, but I'm curious about who your coach is, Marissa.
My coach is the one and only Morgan McDonald.
Oh,
I
awesome.
don't
Okay.
know many people like him. He is definitely one of a kind,
Yep.
and he knows his shit.
He's been on
Uh,
here twice.
Excuse my language, but
Oh, it's fine.
No,
um,
never. I swear way too much.
yeah.
Uh,
But yeah, he's been my coach since Newfoundland. He actually took me on uh, like almost right before the show. I had switched coaches and messaged him maybe 3, 4 weeks out before the show and was like, "This is where I'm at
Wow.
with my prep."
Holy
I was like,
crap. A lot of people would not
That's
touch that.
scary. No,
well,
yeah,
that's
that's.
he was very hesitant because
Yes.
it was so close to the show, and I don't blame him. He was
How did
like,
you meet him?
pardon?
Or how did you meet him or hear of him? Like, what made you switch to him?
My old coach. So what happened was I wanted to do the Newfoundland show, but I had told myself that if I was doing my redemption show, that if I was paying for a coach, I wanted them there with me. I wanted them there the day
Hmm.
of to help me through this, like the show nerves,
It
to
makes such
walk
a
me
big
through
difference.
everything. It does.
Really does.
And
Yep.
to me, I knew that mentally I wasn't gonna have family there. I wasn't gonna have a support system. So if I'm paying for a coach, I want the coach there. And
I agree.
my other coach was like, I can't make it, sorry. And I said, well, you know what? I want someone who's gonna be there.
Yeah.
And he was like, well, I know this guy is going to be there. He lives in Newfoundland. I said, well, I'm going to give him a message. And I messaged him, and he was
And he lost a
hesitant.
client.
All right, well, he was like, send me your check-ins and your body weight and whatnot. And he was like, give me some time to think about it, because I would never take a client on this early to a show, because this is my reputation as well.
Yep.
And
Right.
after he seen my check-ins, and I was like, listen, like this is important to me, and I need someone who's really gonna keep me in line these next few weeks, and I promise you, I'm gonna give this my all. I know it's a very short period of time, but my mentality is there. And he said okay, and he agreed to take me on, and I met him the day of the show. That
Oh,
was the day
crazy.
I
Yep.
met
You
him.
Love the
did you
pressure.
walk
Here we
it?
go.
Did you walk in and see him go, hi?
Yeah, so I walked in, and he had his back towards me, and he had this big camel book bag on, and when he turned around, I was like, is that like G.I. Joe? I was like, oh my
You're
God.
right. Yeah.
That's hilarious.
He's massive.
Yeah.
But the way he is online, and the way he presents himself on his social media, the way he spoke to me over our conversations is exactly how he is in person. So it wasn't weird. It was like I already knew him. And as soon as he turned around and he spoke to me, I knew that like it wasn't going to be weird, that that relationship was still there. And after the show, he came to me and he was like, all right, what's the game plan for our off season? And I said, we're gonna bulk, and I'm going for that pro card next year. And he was like, well, if you want to go for a pro card, then you need a full off season. You need to give it your all, and we're gonna do the very last show that you can qualify for, so you are getting that full
The
year.
whole thing.
And I
Yeah.
said, I'm a mom. I can't afford to go jump in a bunch of shows anyways. So this is kind of, makes sense on both ends.
Yeah.
So that was our plan. We made
It's a
that
good call.
plan the day after Newfoundland, and that's still the plan as
Awesome.
of right now.
What show number was that when you met him? Show number what?
2.
Number 2.
That's kind of crazy. Going like have a pro card in sight at like after show number 2. That's a little
Yeah.
wild.
But I'm gonna be honest, like I was always hesitant. But like I said, ever since I was 16, 17, when I walked in that gym and I seen what bodybuilding was, and then I did some research and I seen what a pro card was, it was so easy for me to visualize myself on stage with a pro card in my hand. And I said, I can see this for a reason. Like
Yep.
it's
I think all the
I need
greats
to
have
see
that vision too. That's a very common thing with the people that do hold pro cards, for sure.
So I kind of held that in my mind and told myself that was something that I wanted. And then when I learned about the law of attraction and visualization and stuff, that was the first thing that went on my vision board. And it's
How did you handle your bulking program? How did you handle the amount of food and whatnot? Where were you looking for your gains? Did you have certain areas that you really wanted to grow?
Everywhere.
Everywhere. I feel that.
Yeah, I guess the biggest thing that I knew I had to work on after Newfoundland was my upper glutes. I was okay in lower glutes, but upper glutes definitely lacked. I needed to work on that. Shoulders needed to come up a bit more, and quads. And
Right.
I didn't have tie-ins, and that was something that I underestimated how long you need to condition.
So
And
when you're
when
saying that, I just want the people that are watching and listening, what are tie-ins? This, like when you're referring to that, what
So
is?
it's when your glutes tie into your hamstrings, and you see that nice teardrop on those
Okay.
glutes and that back pose.
You can.
And I thought going into the Newfoundland show that it would be easy for me to get them, that where I was so lean already that it wouldn't be an issue.
Sometimes
But
that's
I
not the case.
The glute ham
on
tines are tough.
They are, and it requires a lot of conditioning, and it requires
Yep.
weeks of conditioning, and that's something that I underestimated. So this prep, I told him, like, we're gonna make sure that we have a long enough prep so that we get those freaking tie-ins. And I
Yeah.
promise you, when I get on stage, you're gonna see those tie-ins.
I love the goal. That's so that brings me to a question from Sarah. She's curious about your training style and like what do you do? Are you like a high rep range kind of person or low? Like what's your
No.
are you like DC training? What do you do?
I do my own training just because of my arthritis and how my body fluctuates and how it could flare up at any given moment. So Morgan only does my diet and I completely control my training. And
So with your
my
training,
training, yep,
I want to
sorry.
ask I want a specific question with your training. Like, walk me through what a good day looks like, reps and sets, and like what a bad day would look like. And also if you
Um,
have certain exercises that you'll hit on a good day or not on a bad day.
on a good day, I'm hitting all my PRs or making new PRs. On a bad day, I'm not getting anywhere close to it, and that's a bad day for me. But any day I walk into the gym, especially right now, I know that I need to go to failure. And it's only been
So how
recently
many
that I
sets
after,
Like
pardon?
do
sets
you
of,
count them?
what would be like the sets and
Um,
rep ranges that you're looking at, say for like a particular leg exercise?
I have my warm up sets, which is like lower weight, and then when I get into my working sets, they are my heavy weights, and I try to go for as many reps as I can, which typically, if it's my working set and I'm going to failure, I'm lucky if I get 5 or 6. Like I'm really
Oh, so you're in
trying
the
to,
lower rep ranges with your working
yeah.
sets. Cool.
I like today
Heavy, heavy.
I was shoulders and I got the 40s up for the first time doing shoulders, and I was able to get
Damn.
5 reps in, but the last 2 reps I had someone spotting me.
Yeah.
But like before this bulk, like any other bulk, I wouldn't have had someone spotting me. I would have just been like, oh, I'll go with the 35s and see how many I can get out. But now I'm like, no, I need to challenge myself. If I want to make, you know, the most growth I can, I need to push myself as much as I can. And I have the mentality when I walk into the gym, okay, I only have 22 days or 22 leg days until
Yeah.
stage 3. So I need to utilize and make the most out of every single leg day, or what C-Bum does when I'm eating my meals. I'm like, this is, how many meals until show day, so I need to make the
Right.
most.
Yeah. I,
Like,
I have 136 more chicken days left. Oh, my chicken.
Oh my
Here we go.
God.
Yeah.
Put
okay,
I
maybe
them
not so
kind
chickens
bad
on
to
your calendar.
of.
extent, but I would say during bulk, the biggest struggle I have is getting all my meals in, especially being a single mother of 2. I'm nonstop. um,
Yeah.
I eat my vehicle more than I eat in my house.
I see. Yeah,
So,
for
I do
sure.
that a lot. And people look at you, they're like, is that girl eating like chicken, sweet potatoes, and asparagus? It's not just like a Subway sandwich or like,
Oh
no,
yeah. No, you're
a
sitting there.
smoothie. It's
and it's
like an
definitely
actual
cold.
straight up dinner. Yeah. They're like,
Have you ever
what
been
is,
driving and pulled off onto the side of the highway to eat? Because that's
oh
happened.
yeah.
You're just like, I
Oh
gotta.
Um,
You're
yeah.
just. Yeah.
well, I don't know why you guys are pulling over. If I'm driving, at the
It's
end of the
like
day, I'm eating while I'm
you've
driving.
been driving with your
I got somewhere
knees.
to eat.
I was
That's
like,
how many
yeah.
calories were you eating if you remember in your surplus?
uh, Easily over 3,000. Like he
Nice.
had me eating quite a few. Um, but even right now, just where I'm so lean, um, I'm not necessarily in my like deficit yet. Just because
No,
of
you
where I'm
wouldn't.
so
Yeah, I
lean.
feel that. Yeah, your metabolism.
Yeah.
And that's what makes your coach good, that he's not just like, all right, you're 12 weeks out, let's put you on this many calories. Because,
No,
I'm the same way. I'm not as lean as you right now, but when I'm a few weeks out and they lowered my calories, for me, it was my first show ever. So it was a straight up experiment. But like, I ate quite a few calories and they only really cut them really like a few weeks out because I'm like you, I just went, woo, like gone, like I'd be nowhere fast.
that and like when you were so active, like especially now with my job and my kids and stuff, like my day starts at 6 a.m. and it doesn't end until 11, 12 at night. I am
Yeah, that's
nonstop
rough.
all day. So for instance, like my first thing in the morning when I get to work, I'm teaching a cardio class, core class, upper body, lower body. Like I'm doing physical activity all day. So
Your
cardio
diet must,
is part of my life.
yeah, your diet must really reflect if you're doing. Oh my God. So I just like kind of had like a little conversation in my head so fast. Like I'm remembering being a few weeks out and like I'm thinking about teaching a freaking ab class and a cardio class. Like, holy.
Yeah. But you know what? Like a lot of people are like, "Oh, you're crazy. I can't believe you're taking all this like physical activity on like during a prep." I'm like, "But you don't realize this is also helping my prep. It's helping me, but it's keeping
Yeah.
my arthritis at bay."
And it
So,
also like cuts down your cardio time too, right? Like at the
yeah,
end of the day,
and
like your
that way
cardio
I'm not
output, which is like,
or I'm not staying up late and I can spend more time with my
yeah,
kids. Like it's definitely more beneficial this way for sure.
I think an
100%.
active job's a great kind of job to have. I sit all day for a living. I'd nice to be able to
To
do
be
a couple
able
sit-ups
to,
during my day. Some push-ups.
Yeah, sure. I don't think I could do a desk job. I feel like my arthritis would not
it would be
allow
pretty
me.
rough. Um,
Yeah.
No, sitting is a death sentence. Take it from me.
Hmm.
I do it for 12 hours a day.
oh,
It's a killer.
yeah, that is not ideal for, yeah. That means you have to like work extra hard when you're training because you're not burning anything really throughout the day. So it's like a little bit more of a,
I don't have a car right now because I got in that accident
yep.
literally the day I kind of started bodybuilding.
Oh wow.
So I do, yeah, I know that was like a whole other tang. But yeah, no, I walk back and forth from work and stuff like that. I walk back and forth from the gym. So I am getting some in, but at work I do be sitting. So I got to try to get the cardio in. I
But
pole
you're still
dance.
trying to
That
find
helps.
balance,
All right.
which is
Yeah,
important.
Yeah.
yeah.
So we'll get a couple more questions here, then we can call her a night. What's your favorite exercise?
uh,
And
probably hip thrust.
if,
Your favorite one should be the one that you hate because that's the one we need to do.
Um,
yeah,
hip thrust,
then
I have a
again
love
would be your, what do
relationship
you,
for it.
what's that?
I said hip thrust, I have a love-hate relationship for it. I feel like it was one of the first exercises I started doing before like hip thrust actually became like
A
so
thing.
well known. So it's just kind of yeah, my go-to, I guess.
Yeah, I've been doing hip thrusts for years, and I think I just literally figured out how to do them properly like a month or two ago. But I've been doing them for years, and it just nothing. It just didn't work. I was just like, this is garbage. I don't know why everyone's doing this. I didn't.
Yeah,
I just
you
wasn't
need
doing
to
it
find
right.
that
What were
glute
you doing
activation
wrong?
more.
I'm curious. What was your epiphany? Tell us. For
Um,
hip-
it was really like keeping my torso and my core very very stable, and
Yes.
not and like dropping the hips down, but also tucking my chin into my chest. Soon as
It's hard to
that,
imagine. It's
yeah,
hard to imagine like a glute extension when you're in that position. You just kind of
right,
got to keep everything super tight, and the only thing that's expanding in traction is your glutes. It's
right.
a weird one.
Yeah, like
The way
and
I
trying
was
to
doing it too,
feeling that rocking motion and not letting anything move except for the hips, which I was like, oh
yeah.
Mm.
well, right, that was fine. But as soon as I got my tuck my chin down, that just like activated it like super quick. And I was like, and I learned that from Antoine and Sarah. I don't know if you know those
Nice.
two.
Yeah.
They were on the
Um,
podcast quite a while ago, and as soon as they were talking about that, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna try that. Next time I did, I was like, holy shit! I was like,
one
I
thing
couldn't
I
walk
tell
the
my
next day.
clients, that kind of helps them like make it click or like help them understand it is I tell them to visualize they're scooping ice cream with their butt. So like they're going in I'll do it this way,
Yeah,
like a scoop motion. And when I say that to them, I don't know, it's just they kind of register it and like, oh, now I can feel it. So the chin
I think
tucking and that scoop, yeah.
I like it.
it's that last little like that ooh, out of the bucket that really gets
Yeah.
the
I find
boots
that
on.
really that also really hits like the lower glutes and the tie-ins. That last little motion, right? That's a really
Yeah.
big one.
Yeah.
And it depends on where your feet are at. Well, your
Yeah.
secondary muscles, either hamstring or quads, you can
Yeah.
play around with your feet. I encourage people to play around with certain positions and just see where you feel it. It's kind of nice sometimes when you're on the hack squat, playing around with your foot placement if you're feeling it in your glute hams or your
Yeah.
inner thighs. It's
Yeah,
great.
It's an
for sure.
experiment. Like we all have different body mechanics, right? We're all kind of built a little differently, so it
But I
just
like the ice cream scoop analogy. Hopefully
Yep.
that helps people on here that be looking to grow them butt cheeks. Get them nice and
It
plumper.
works.
The ice cream. Make them look like an ice cream, you know.
Little ice cream
If you
scoops.
want that,
The two
you got to
two
think.
scoops of ice cream. Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah, great. Love it.
Worst exercise.
Oof.
It's like one that you just hate.
Bulgarians, easily.
Oh god, they're horrible.
Oh,
They're good, but they're horrible.
They hurt so good. They're just you can't like cheat out of a Bulgarian split squat.
Yeah.
You just can't cheat. There's no way that you can really manipulate your body in any
They
way
just fall
to like
over.
make it easier.
It's
Yeah,
easy.
exactly. It's your front leg is your working leg and it's working. It's
yeah, I'm not a
working.
fan.
Awesome.
Morgan's probably gonna
Level
love me for saying
that.
that, but that's okay.
What's that?
My favorite one was somebody was sitting down. They were teaching. It was like a reel teaching you how to like a little hack where to put your feet for your split squat. They're like turn and face the bench. Sit down. Put your feet out, and you're gonna put all your weight onto one leg, and you're gonna lean forwards. And what you're gonna do is then walk away from the bench because we're not fucking doing them.
Brilliant.
So funny every time.
Love it.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Yeah. All right. We're getting pretty close. Yeah, I think that's it for me. That's all the questions I got. I think this was
Awesome.
I'll make a
fantastic.
statement. I gotta. You guys are naming off some people. I'm over here like in the dark about people and trying to get to know. I gotta head over to Fitness FX and try out their day pass. And I work on Saturdays, so I can't get to the posing. But one of these days you might see me like skip out on work. Sorry, clients. And I really want to try out that posing place just to get to know people because everyone seems to know everybody there, and I was like, man, I need to get my foot in the door there. God damn it, work and getting in the way. But I should go check out
yeah.
Fitness FX.
Well, even
I
on
really want.
let's let me know. We can play and we can all go over.
Yeah, that would be awesome. Sometimes they have posing on Sundays too, depending. Like they had a posing yesterday on Sunday, which
Right.
typically it is Saturday. But because
Oh,
of
I'll have
things
to.
going on and whatnot,
I'll have
sometimes
to
it will be
message.
on Sunday too.
All right, I'll have to maybe
Um,
message them to be diligent every week. Hey, you
Yeah.
doing one Sunday?
Yeah, just check it out. Usually it's really great to go like train beforehand or then do your posing or train after the pose. I usually like training before,
yeah.
but
Oh, you got to train before so you can
I
get
get
like
up at
yeah.
a
5
good
a.m.
pump
so
on
the train can
Yeah.
start.
Oh
What's that?
yeah, I always would train before posing.
Usually afterwards you're way too tired. And I'm just like, I'm just done.
Tired,
Yeah, well,
hungry,
that's
like get me out of
Yeah.
true.
here.
That's true. Like, but I think if you get used to posing after your workout, your body just conditions to it. It becomes normal. And besides, you're going to want to get a pump up on stage. And if your muscles are fatigued, it's just all the more nerve and muscle training to hit
Yep.
those. And muscle, like your muscles are all flared up. I feel like you're going to get a mind muscle connection way better.
Yeah,
So
you can.
suck
Yeah,
it up
that's a really
and
good
do it.
point. So it's always usually beneficial to practice posing, even in class or by yourself, like afterwards, to go. Yeah, your connection is better. The blood flowing is going to be way better. Your mobility is going to be better, and you're also when you're posing too, you're also flexing hard if you're doing it, and then you're depleting your glycogen levels even more. So
Oh, definitely.
so by the time you're done, you could go fill up and carb load afterwards if you're not depleting and dieting really strictly.
Yeah,
So then it's like
I
perfect time to be hitting posing.
and then we did posing, and then I went to Five Guys.
Yeah, perfect. Like your
Ah,
It
metabolism
was
is
a
gonna be,
great day.
yeah, your metabolism is gonna
and
be
I bet you looked
firing up, and
fabulous the next day, nice and full.
yeah,
Yeah, I felt pretty good this morning.
awesome.
Yeah, I always felt great the day after a refeed.
Yeah, definitely. You feel nice and
Oh
full.
yeah,
So
best
yeah, we'll
day.
we'll make a plan definitely to go there, uh, do your posing classes, or just even go train. It's
I
just
would,
to get over there
yeah,
and meet some
training
people.
for sure.
Most of the people that go to the posing classes also, well, a lot of them train there too. So
They do, yeah. But just to be
so
with the bodybuilding community and just to
yeah.
be around like-minded individuals who have the same, goals and outlook on things, it's like you usually can't beat it. I will always chase that feeling and want to be with them, whether I have to drive 2, 5, 7 hours. I don't care.
Mhm.
It's worth it.
Yeah. And kind of going all the way back to when we met at Fitness FX, I don't go to that gym. I was just in there on a day pass.
Really?
So that was just a total coincidence too,
That
right?
wasn't a
Josh, what's up with
coincidence.
all these
I
coincidences?
know, right? Like
There's a group of coincidences here
it's
hanging
like it's
out.
all
What's up?
happening. It's a
Yeah,
group of the universe right here. This is just like brought everyone.
yeah. We've collided into this
I
wonderful trio.
I absolutely agree, and I have a very good feeling about this podcast. I feel like I was, told to do it for a reason, and I hope it kind of reaches some people and opens their mind, whether they
Yep.
have, an autoimmune
So
disease or not, or just has maybe a certain outlook on bodybuilding, and it might change their outlook on bodybuilding.
I
So,
hope I hope
um,
when they see you in the gym next, instead of being intimidated, they give you a fucking high five.
all right, let's finish off on one more
Like, yeah,
question because that brings us right into one of the questions here, and then we'll finish her off.
good for that.
sure.
Intimidation. Do you experience a lot of that? Do you get looks from guys and girls?
Um,
Some people might look at you in the gym because and be like, holy shit, that girl looks good, or holy shit,
It's hard to say.
that's scary, and she
How do they
looks
make you
yeah,
scary.
feel?
Because
Scared,
I
I
get
yeah?
would say
both.
there's quite a few men who are intimidated by a strong,
Yep.
independent-looking woman. Um, I don't know why, but yeah, I've had quite a few guys being like, "Holy shit!" Like, um,
Why do you look like that?
why are you
Why do
going
you?
so hard? Like, I don't need to explain myself to
Yes.
you.
No, you don't.
Right. I would be so upset if a man asked me that. I'd be like, why do you do that? I'd be like,
Oh,
I'm
your
sorry,
audio is
excuse
weird.
me. You're gonna have to elaborate on that question. Luckily, the men that approached me are like, "Oh, this looks great," or "Oh, that looks great," and I'm like, "Wow, like this is
Oh,
awesome."
I get guys like that. I will have guys
Good,
who are like,
good.
"Holy crap! Like your arms are incredible," or "I wish I had shoulders like that,"
I love
and
those
whatnot.
guys.
But
Thanks,
then
gym guys.
I feel
Yeah.
like it's the guys that just can't handle it that are like, "Oh, okay."
Yeah,
Usually those
girls
guys
like
aren't in
being
the greatest shape
complimented
either.
too. Yeah, tell us we've got great biceps.
Right.
It works. It's a bisexual question. If that's even a that's I don't know what the fuck
I
that
like
means.
it.
They even ask the same guy here, like, "Hey man, your arms look great," and then he's gonna be like, "Thanks," and then you can say like, "Hey girl, your arms look fucking great." You're gonna get the same response.
Yeah,
Thank
for
you.
sure.
Hopefully.
Um,
Hopefully.
but as for
Yeah.
females, there I definitely have dealt with a lot of bullying. I've dealt with bullying from other competitors.
Oh, really?
Um, I've I'm I deal with bullying right now from another competitor. I
In
won't
what
get
way,
into
if you don't mind me asking?
pardon?
Like through social? What way? Like verbally, social
Yeah,
media,
through
or like
social
how does
media.
this? How does like
Um,
that's we don't really get much of that in the sport that I know of.
I in the beginning, I um I was really upset by it because like she was really going out of her way to just try
Because
to
you're better than
sabotage
her,
my
and she's
training,
like,
try to get in my head.
right.
During the Newfoundland show, she's another competitor, and we were both from this little island. So I feel like it might be a little small island mentality, maybe, but
Small people
just little
mentality.
things like when she found out that I was doing the Newfoundland show, she had reached out to other competitors that were in my category and offered to help them pose for free.
Ah, right.
The day of, she messaged my boyfriend, telling him to tell me good luck instead of messaging me. I'm
Oh
assuming that was
wow,
kind of
yeah.
just to try to get in my head the day of the show. And just a lot of little things to try to stop me from bringing home medals, but I did. So,
Yes.
Joke's on you, lady.
Yeah.
Stay
and
in your freaking lane, okay? I'm
She
gonna tell you that.
sucks.
but that's I don't want to come off like that, because at the end of the day, everyone has their own purpose, everyone has their own path, and whether you try to stop someone from reaching their goals or not, it's not going to stop them. If anything, it's just delaying your own goals. So I don't want to, put another person down, because at the end of the day, what they want to go for is not what I'm going to go for, because we can't be on the same path.
Oh
So
yeah.
you shouldn't be threatened by someone. And that's another reason why I travel to Halifax and I go up to the bodybuilding communities, because I'm up.
Oh, froze.
Oh no.
Oh no.
No! Right when it was I know it was getting good.
It was so
Damn.
good.
You should be doing.
Oh, sorry. You froze
Um,
for like 30 seconds.
oh, sorry.
So
I
you were
said
traveling
that's
up to
why I
the
travel to
Halifax bodybuilding community.
Halifax. Yeah, because in Halifax, it's such a warm, welcoming community. I don't have to worry about that small mentality and people being threatened by me. And when I get up there and I'm surrounded by other people that are even doing the same show as me, like I know that these people are going for their pro card as well and could be neck and neck with me, but yet they're putting that mindset aside and we're helping each other pose and we're helping each other push each other, because at the end of the day, we're still representing Nova Scotia.
Oh, yes.
We are still a community. So as much as this person is going out of their way to try to sabotage or get in my head or whatever, I don't retaliate. I don't give them the time of day, and I think that irks them even more.
It's the best way to do it.
And
It is 100% the best way.
they want to obsess and watch my social media like a hawk and try to run to social media to post things when they know that I'm doing it or something, because they know that I have kids to go home and take care of before I post anything. By all means, you go ahead. But I feel like people's true colors kind of speak for themselves, and they always come out in the end. So I do not need to try to justify anything or speak my
Oh, yeah.
side, because it will come out in the end. Does that make sense?
Yeah, good for
Well,
you.
we've
Yeah.
got it all here too, like you telling your story, and if like anyone was really to dispute you after this, I would just refer them to this podcast and just be like, you know what, I'm sorry you have a problem. You know what will make you feel better? Watch this link.
Yeah.
And
like,
I
yeah,
tell myself,
no.
if this person's like, if someone's going to go out of their way to try to stop someone from reaching their goal, that when I get that pro card and my picture is up on that gym, they gotta walk in
Hell
every
yeah.
day and see that. That is
But like,
the only, I don't want to say revenge or karma that I'll need, but
It's
it's the
just
only
a-
thing I will ever get back. It's
just
the only
a,
thing you
like-
will ever see me do is when my picture's up
Yeah.
on that wall.
icing on the cake, right? And it's like,
Yep.
just for the other person too, like that's a lot of energy. That's a lot of work. That's a lot of mental like stress that
Big
person
time.
is going through, that putting themselves through to try to do that. Like they're only hurting themselves as well.
Absolutely.
Like probably
And it makes me
very
feel
little
bad. I'm like,
affecting you.
it can't be that.
Like there's
It
something
shouldn't
going on
be
there.
that hard to be yourself, that you want to be someone else or ruin someone else from
Yep.
being themselves. You know what I mean? You should be comfortable in your own skin and be happy with who you are.
For sure. Yeah.
But some people learn the hard way, unfortunately. And like even today, for instance, I had my first posing client post her shoes, and she posted me in it, and I reshared it to my story. This person messaged them right away and was like, "Be careful, she's going to sabotage your posing."
Oh
And but there's no
no.
need of it.
Yes,
She's
that's-
stirring,
She's done it to
she's
other
stirring the
clients that I've
pot.
had in the past. Like it's just it's very childish, and I'm a mother, so I'm just not going to entertain it.
Well, you're
But
Yeah.
And
And
Getting
also
then
too,
challenged.
again,
like what
I
also
think
when you
she'd be
think about it
dangerous if
from the
it wasn't
competitor's
threatened.
standpoint, when you think about it from the competitor's standpoint, they're all gung ho, they've hired you, they're ready, they're excited to, compete in their show. And then they've got this random person that they don't know messaging them, oh, you're gonna be sabotaged. Okay, well that's one thing on
That's
you. But like imagine how they probably feel. They're like, oh no, like now I'm not gonna, and it's not even anything on you. They're like, well, like you're they trust you, and they obviously had their original instinct, but then now that's going to put them down this crazy
So
spiral. Like,
that
you
actually
didn't do
happened
them a
last year.
favor.
I had a friend reach out to me. She wanted to compete, and I had offered to help her pose for free because she would have been my first posing client. So it was kind of trial and error for both of us. And I said this is a great opportunity for both of us to learn. And as soon as this other competitor had found out I was helping her, she had reached out to her, got her head, and this person backed out from competing altogether and has not gotten on stage since.
oh man,
Um,
that person sucks so much.
Yeah, like why
so
you gotta step on people's toes
I
like that?
know,
Like let them do what they're gonna do. Like it's really
Yeah.
you're only hurting people when
yeah.
you put people down and you start bringing them into the shit.
Like
Just let them do what they're gonna do. Like they're gonna go up
yeah,
on stage, they're gonna post the way
Or
they're gonna
figure things out
pose.
on their own.
right.
Like
Yeah, they'll go from
That
there.
person
there's
just
no
could
need
have
to put that
costed.
energy out.
Yeah, that person could have just
But
cost somebody else's like amazing experience. Just like oh, that's frustrating.
It
yeah,
doesn't like it doesn't
but
take much to turn you off bodybuilding. Any little hiccup in the road, like not having a posing coach, could totally be enough to make you not want to compete
for sure.
if you
So
need a
the
coach.
client that I had today, I kind of gave her a heads up. I said, "Listen, I'm
Ah,
having
good.
issues with this town bully." And I said, "Has she ever messaged you before?" And she said, "No, no. I've never like she's never liked my stuff. She doesn't pay attention to me. She doesn't know who I am." I said, "Okay, well, I'm just going to give you a fair warning that as soon as you make it known that I'm helping you, this person's going to reach out to you, or she's going to be all over your social media. And within 20 minutes, not even maybe even 15, I got a message and was like, 'You were right.' She right away." And I said,
You
"There's
got a
a
Karen on
pattern."
you today. You've got a
Pardon?
Karen on. You've got a
You like
Karen.
you
Yeah.
got a Karen following you around.
Well, you know what? It's my fuel. It's my fuel.
No.
I don't ever let it affect me negatively anymore. I tell myself, if she's threatened by me, it's because I have potential.
Well,
So,
you're more than welcome to call her out here, and there's going to be a lot of people that will have your back.
no, I won't
But I
do
also
that
can see.
because
No, I wouldn't either. Only
It's up to
because
I'm
you.
not that
like
person.
you, I don't
See,
either.
I
Josh
guarantee
used
she'll
to
be
be
one
a
of the
lot.
first people to watch this podcast, and there will be a retaliation on her end from me, even
Right.
not even mentioning her, but me just bringing this up.
Oh yeah.
So
Where?
people
Screw
Well,
will
you
her.
find
know,
out who this is
suck.
without me needing to say it.
Right.
Well, it sucks to
Okay. Cool.
suck for that person. You know what I
Yep.
mean? Well, if you don't like it, maybe stop doing it, and people won't call you out all the time for
Or maybe
whatever.
if you just matured and
Yep.
became less toxic, I would maybe consider being your friend, and then you wouldn't
Also,
See,
feel me
like
so much.
that's amazing, and that's just like you're just that's just so big.
we've
Like you're
already
like
taken we have already taken the first step by not mentioning your name. You're welcome.
I want to know, but okay,
Yeah.
fine. That's fine.
Ta-da.
I will. Okay.
There goes your headline, Josh.
Yeah.
Fucking God. Just a sip.
Fucking
Oh, one
bodybuilder
thing
Karens out there.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
have to say, Josh, it's totally off topic, but
Oh
I
yeah.
was in the gym today, and I had a gentleman come up to me, and he was like, "Oh, I'm looking forward to hearing the podcast
Ah.
that you're doing with Josh." And he said that he was with you on the weekend, and his name's Cody. He said you guys were doing a Trailer Park Boys scene, and he was
Oh yes, I was in the Trailer Park Boys movie. Yeah.
one of the people in the back. But he was telling me your role and how you, like, I don't know, you ripped your shirt off or you were getting beat in the
Yeah,
scene
this
or
is
something.
something crazy. Yeah.
Why do I feel like I remember that? I'm
Uh,
gonna go back watching
I,
that.
I put it.
We're
Well,
going.
I put a story on a little while ago about being in the we're shooting in the Trailer Park Boys movie out in
See,
Dartmouth
that's what I'm
there.
thinking of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice
Um,
guys.
so yeah, if
Cody,
you
I
want
yes,
to
yeah.
say hi, just
That's awesome.
it's such a small
Showed
world,
out.
right? Like he's from Cape Breton, so
Yeah.
for him to
I
run
would.
into me and be like, "Oh, like I know Josh too," I thought that was pretty cool.
That's cool. I love
Buckle
this.
up.
Man, I love Halifax. Yeah.
You tell him
That's
buckle
great.
up. It's going to be another long one.
Right,
I
yeah.
swear to God, I'm cursed, Josh. If I'm on here, it's going to be,
Yeah.
2 hours.
I
You should
actually
just
might
mute
even just mute you. We might. I was like, maybe I actually can chop this up and put it into 2 different segments. We'll see.
a part one and a part two. I don't
Yeah.
know. Oh, you can have her
I was gonna say
story as
I
part
don't know.
one,
Yep. And then the other one,
banter
I
part
as
two.
don't
part
know how
two.
typically long your podcasts are, but this is probably one of your longer ones.
No, I've
Ah,
hit like two
creeping up on
hours,
mine.
2 hours and 20. I think might be one of my longest.
Oh wow, okay.
But
Mine was really long. I could talk about fucking
yeah.
nothing forever.
But it's entertaining though for some weird reason.
It's the delivery. It's
Yeah.
gibberish half the time.
Awesome. Well, thanks so much for coming on. Like that was amazing, and we're so proud of you. Your story is so inspiring, and I know it's going to help so many people. Like,
Well, thank you for having me. I'm glad that I was able to not force myself, but step outside my comfort zone to finally talk about this and be more open about my journey and hopefully
it's so
inspire
important.
other
Yeah.
people to kind of open their mind to maybe
But everything you touch people.
alternatives to medication to help with their health. And maybe even some foster kids might hear this and decide, that they want to get into the gym instead of getting into other stuff on the weekends. So if I help one person from sharing my story, then it's worth
Yeah.
it. But
Yeah,
I'm honored
100%.
and I'm happy that I was able to share it with you guys for the very first time. And yeah, just have this platform as my first experience. So thank you.
You're welcome. You're definitely more than welcome to come back for sure. It was great. And just want to say I'm grateful for the universe bringing us, all 3 of us together. Some weird, I don't even think it's a coincidence anymore. It's just how it is.
It's not a
Right?
coincidence. Like I said, I have a
Never.
really good feeling about this. So maybe in like a year's time, we can do a follow-up and hopefully I'll have that pro card.
Yeah, after your
That'll
next
be
show.
sick. Yeah,
Yeah.
no, like we talked about last time, Josh. She'll have her pro card. I'll have a wider screen because and we'll all be good. And you'll be relaxing and staying out of the gym or whatever. No. What was
No.
it? I can't remember.
What's that
Remembering
mean?
this last time we were talking about
Yeah, I'm
the
not
last
sure.
podcast we were on. I don't remember. It doesn't matter. Number one is I'll need a wider screen next year.
You'll need a wider screen. Awesome. Yes, your shoulders will be way too big to fit into this.
Yep, that it could. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
There's goals right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're going to have to
Yeah.
sit back by that fern. This will be
will.
called, I'll have to get a fern and we'll call it Between Two Ferns, like that other talk
Yeah,
show.
bodybuilding between two friends. Yes. I love it. If you haven't watched Between Two Friends, fucking do it.
It is so funny.
It's too much. It's too much. Whew, it's funny.
Yeah.
I don't got time for TV.
They're quick.
so
They're like 10 minutes long, maybe not even 7
Okay,
minutes.
then
It's super
that's
funny.
cardio.
Yeah.
Oh, you know what? And you don't even need to watch it. I feel like you could just pop it on at the gym, put your headphones on, and listen to it because they're just interviewing one another. I mean, sometimes the facial cues, the looks they give each other, it's great because half the people on this show have no fucking idea what they bought a ticket that they don't know what they're even going
It's
for.
a talk show with Zach
Fair.
Galifianakis, and it's just wild.
Girl, you need to watch at least one episode. Watch the one with Barack Obama's good. Who is oh my gosh, from Texas? What's his name? Anyways, I'm gonna make this one longer. It doesn't matter.
See, I like the Owen Wilson one. Is that?
He's
Or
funny.
and the
guy from The Office, he was on there.
Anyway, it's
guy
good.
from The
They're all
Office.
good.
Yeah.
It sounds like some content I can listen to while I
Yeah,
drive.
it's super fun.
So I'll keep that in
It's
mind.
it's really funny.
Also,
Highly
you can, cool. That'd be great. Well, thank you so much. This was wonderful.
No problem, guys. It was my pleasure, and I look forward to the next one because I know there will be a next one. So.
Yeah, there will be for sure.
Always.
Keep her rolling.
Okay, guys.
All
Well,
right.
I'm gonna go,
Nice.
get some stuff done before I get to bed.
Yeah,
Because
same.
Yeah.
beat.
Get your sleep in. You need it. Yeah.
It's growing
Showtime.
time.
Yes.
Later.
Bye.
Bye.
See ya.